On April 12, the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, or PAFA, reopened its historic landmark building after 2 years of renovation with exhibitions that tells the sweeping story of American creativity. Founded in 1805 as the nation's first art museum and school by artists and civic leaders, including 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence, PAFA was built on a bold idea that a thriving democracy depends on a thriving artistic culture. The 51-foot sculpture at Landfest Plaza was installed in 2011 at a 60-degree angle to honor the act of painting from the classical masters in PAFA's museum to the students in PAFA's School of Fine Arts. For more than 2 centuries, PAFA has shaped American art, educating artists, inspiring the public, and preserving cultural history. The reopening of the landmark building is not just a restoration of a beloved space, but part of a broader revitalization driven by new leadership, renewed focus on core strengths, and a growing sense of possibility. Art is believed to be not peripheral to civic life, but central to it, an idea that feels especially urgent today. The Nation of Artists exhibition marks the reopening of the historic landmark building designed specifically for both exhibition and art education and to continue its legacy as museum and school for artistic innovation. It was curated thematically, grouping artworks through dynamic juxtapositions, with installations that include contemporary art from the 21st century in dialogue with the earlier centuries. PAFA's exhibition is in collaboration with a simultaneous presentation at the Philadelphia Museum of Art to celebrate the nation's 250th anniversary in 2026.
So we are in the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts Historic Landmark Building. This building was actually constructed in 1876 and it recently reopened after being closed for 2 years to put in a new HVAC system. And we're really excited not only for the building to be reopened, but also because this comes with the opening of our Nation of Artists exhibition, which features 280 works by over 230 American artists.
Between the 2 museums, the exhibition features more than 1,000 works, including more than 100 iconic paintings that offer fresh perspective on the evolving story of American art. Collective highlights include artwork of marble sculptures, lush landscapes, portraits, impressionist paintings, and contemporary art. This marble sculpture was inspired by a character in Edward Bulwer Lytton's 1834 novel, The Last Days of Pompeii. This sculpture was inspired by John Milton's epic poem Paradise Lost that depicts the aftermath of Adam and Eve's banishment from Eden and the moral instruction from their sons Cain and Abel. Although Bailey's handling of the figures appears overly sentimental to the modern viewer, the obvious religious and moral narrative is what appealed to Victorian Americans. Benjamin West based this monumental history painting on the Bible's book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 8, involving the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He established himself as an artist in London and built a strong reputation, serving as one of the founders of the Royal Academy of Arts there. He created monumental canvases and incorporated classical references within complex religious scenes. West taught 3 generations of visiting American artists in London, including PAFA's early founder Charles Willson Peale, Gilbert Stuart, and Thomas Sully. Ancient ruins, classical mythology, artistic models, and picturesque countryside of Italy have captivated American artists and the expatriate communities for centuries. For Sargent, Corfu served as a space away from his London studio to experiment with new locales, climates, and his subject, Jane de Gland. Acclaimed portraitist Sully was known for the freshness and immediacy of his paintings that captured the personalities of his sitters, which allured the viewers. The painting techniques in social realist style and the understanding of the power of images have grappled with social, cultural, and political myths through sensitive portraiture. Chase was an instructor at PAFA and frequently posed his wife and model Alice in vibrant color palette and decorative brushworks to create a visual dialogue, while peers explored fantasies around non-Western subjects and exoticism. Artists have also portrayed female models dressed in exotic attire, clothes that are different from the usual fashion that served as the popular form of entertainment. For centuries, artists have grappled with the questions of how to capture the subject's spirit, complexity, and individuality in a portrait. These modern-era paintings from 1890 to 1950 reflect the artist's sensibilities in their interaction with their sitters to convey their likeness and personalities. Knight was trained at PAFA and traveled to Paris, where he learned the precise handling of finished brushwork. Garber, who was also trained at PAFA and became an instructor in 1909, learned the Impressionist-style painting of female figures after a 2-year stay in Europe. Cassatt painted the intimate relationship between mothers and children in an Impressionist style that evokes the close maternal bond. American artists have continued to reference European traditions and the old masters in their paintings, even for those who work domestically who have gestured towards influences from abroad. Van der Linde was the first American artist to study in France and the first to exhibit at the Salon, where he won a medal in 1804. Bishop was inspired by the bustle of urban life, particularly by young women of New York. Henry was an instructor at PAFA and a pivotal figure in the artistic community of the United States in the first decades of the 20th century. Glackens took the advice of Robert Henry and traveled to Paris in 1895, where he discovered French Impressionism and the works of Auguste Renoir. Artists have envisioned the Old West through representations of the indigenous people and the perception of the conflict and confrontation with the settler colonists. Russell created stereotypical scenes and fictitious imageries associated with the American West, focusing on cowboys and romanticized Native Americans. 20th century artists have explored the vibrant and vast landscape of the America's Southwest in search of new environments, gravitating towards natural forms and encountering cultural exchanges. O'Keeffe adapted indigenous symbolism and abstraction and immersed in the terrain. Artists have also evinced their maker's spirited commitment to translating emotion into form through different materials like wood and acrylic. Oakley made these stained glass lancet windows for St. Peter's Episcopalian Church in Germantown, Pennsylvania, which was designed by Frank Furness and George Hewitt. Artists have also continually sought out fleeting and spectacular moments in nature's ever-changing landscape and atmosphere. Homer began specializing in naturalist subjects after 1890 to explore themes of nature and mortality and the struggle between prey and predator. Artists have also continually sought out new climates and foreign landscapes to study the natural flora and fauna and tropical environmental motifs. Church journeyed to South America to capture the glowing haze across the Santa Isabel Valley to evoke the immersive experience of humid climate. Blakesley painted the expansion of housing development along the Schuylkill River in a vivid color palette from an elevated point. Some artwork captured the ambience of dynamic performances in the dramatic interior of performance venues to convey the vibrancy of contemporary life. Shin was influenced by Robert Henry to paint urban realism and captured the energy and drama of the theater, similar to scenes favored by French Impressionist Edgar Degas. The female body has been explored by artists and examined by the American cultural identity, a topic that female artists have often critiqued and challenged the image of the female form in art and mass media. Avery combined folk art and European modernism in his rural landscapes and figurative scenes built around simplified forms. American artists have visualized the world of imagination and the power of literature through images of fantasy and picturesque beauty. Anshat sought to convey the inner world and outer world experience in his favorite sitter, Rebecca Whelan, who was a student and daughter of a former PAFA president. Portraiture painting allows artists to depict themselves as both the subject and creator, drawing attention to the dynamics between painter and model. Slade presented herself with a direct, dignified gaze, framed by the lush bloom of the amaryllis, while Constantine places herself not as a distant subject but as an active painter in full view, engaging directly with our gaze. West was elected as PAFA's first honorary member in 1805 and was key to its early formation as an institution in Philadelphia. Peale, who was one of the founding members of PAFA, executed this self-portrait at the age of 81. Akins created this early in his career after returning from his studies in Paris and exhibited the large-scale canvas in the Philadelphia 1876 centennial. The title of this portrait was named after the Marquis of Lansdowne, the former British Prime Minister and the recipient of the painting, a gift from the Philadelphia merchant William Bingham. Before hopping over to the Hamilton Building, take a break at Top Hat Coffee. This is its third location in the Philadelphia area, its first in Bella Cynwyd and the second by the campus of the University of Pennsylvania. PAFA acquired the Hamilton Building in the early 2000s and named it in honor of one of its former board members. This site-specific installation by German-born Lindenbrink adorns the curved wall of the lobby, spanning 118 feet, and was installed with the assistance of 3 PAFA students in 2014. The Bodies and Soul exhibition of the 130 paintings, drawings, and sculptures examined the liberatory power of figurative art, often treated as conservative in the second half of the 20th century. Artists used representational and realist methods to assert presence for those omitted from dominant narratives or harmfully depicted by those outside their communities. Ferrer, who used to play the drums professionally when he was young, depicted a small gathering of friends sharing the joy of making music. Realism and representation remain powerful means to show embodied human experience, encompassing gender, sexuality, interpersonal relationships, psychological states, and connections to home. Barton depicted her sister Rosanna in this aura portrait in a pink satin dress with matching precious stone earrings, a pendant necklace, and holding a fan. Messer had met the elder John Serra in 1989 and painted dozens of his portraits, which John had remarked, "That's a painting of a man who has seen everything." Nunn carefully depicted the transformation of her body in pregnancy to break centuries of conventions of what constituted ideal beauty. Lunn's contemporary Alice Neal has a similar painting of Claudia Bach pregnant, which is on view in the landmark building. These three paintings represent different aspects of Lun's life, which include self-loathing, her sensual self naked, and her spiritual self in floral crown. Lun once noted, "In the way a dream bubbles up from that layer of the mind that knows all and reveals what it knows in such beautiful and tricky ways, my early paintings seemed to be symbolic disclosure of my inner being." Representational art has been critical for artists who want to make themselves and their communities visible on their own terms, to see and be seen, to show relationships, pleasure, and autonomy. Wilde married Shirley Jean Greeley in 1969, a subject he had long intimate and affectionate relationship with and painted frequently as an icon of longing and adoration. Artists have often allowed themselves to be vulnerable through personal imagery and depicted the places they go, dream, and feel desire. People's Pride combines visual and spoken puns in paintings composed of brightly colored animals and patterns to produce amusing results. Nielsen's sophisticated understanding of colors, humor, and formal inventiveness enabled her to produce crowd pictures like this inspired by her daily life. This composition is from a short film of the same title, a rousing, colorful, psychedelic vaudeville musical staged within the installation. In the Anne Bryan Gallery downstairs is a student-curated exhibition of PAFA community artworks inspired by the Walt Whitman poem Eidolon that explores the concept of a collective oversoul where individual visions merge into a larger interconnected whole. Whitman's belief in the reality that extends beyond surface perception, encompassing the earth, the cosmos, and the unseen layers of existence, forms the conceptual foundation of the exhibition. Eidolon showcases the works of PAFA community members, each presenting a distinct aesthetic, world, and artistic philosophy. It emphasizes individuality within a shared space. The exhibition welcomes all forms of creative expression, from traditional media to contemporary experiments. Before leaving, stop by the PAFA store for some unique artistic souvenirs. If you found this video helpful, please click on the like button below or subscribe to our channel for the next new video. Check out our earlier video on the Philadelphia Museum of Art.